You ever sit across from someone you love and feel like they're already gone, even while they're sipping coffee right in front of you? They show up. They smile. They say all the correct sentences. But something in the room is colder. If that feeling's been creeping in, listen closely. People don't just slam a door and vanish. Most leave in stages. And when someone has quietly decided to go, 3 signs appear, almost always in order. Once you see them, you'll never confuse politeness with love again. Here's what we're doing today. I'm not here to make you paranoid or turn every slow texter into a villain. I'm here to give you a clear map. You'll learn the 3-phase exit, how it begins inside their heart, moves into their behavior, and ends in their future plans. I'll show you what it looks like in real life. At dinner on a random Wednesday. At your cousin's barbecue. Because clarity is mercy. And if the ending is already writing itself, you deserve to read it in daylight. Let's start with the first sign, the quietest, and also the most dangerous, emotional shutdown. When someone starts leaving for real, the first thing they stop bringing you is themselves. They don't tell you their thoughts in traffic, the weird dream they had, the joke from the group chat. They might still reply, but the replies are surface. You ask, "How was your day?" They say, "It was fine." You share a little victory. Your boss complimented your work, and they go, "Nice." You tell them you're feeling off, and they say, "You'll be okay." It's not cruel. It's hollow. Now, to be fair, everybody has off days. Everyone needs silence sometimes. But when it becomes a pattern, when the good morning texts become weather reports, when "how are you" becomes a courtesy instead of curiosity, that's not introversion. That's disconnection. The emotional channel between you two has static, and you can feel it. You used to have inside jokes. Now you have safe topics. You used to share little nothings. Now every conversation is logistics. Did you pay the bill? What do you want for dinner? I'll be home late. You're living together but talking like roommates on Venmo. If you try to fix it, you'll probably do what good people do. You'll plan a date night. You'll ask better questions. You'll bring more energy. But when someone is shutting down emotionally, you'll feel like you're talking through a glass wall. They can hear you. They can even nod. And still, somehow, they're not there. And here's the hard truth. Sharing is the oxygen of love. Not gifts. Not grand gestures. Sharing. When it stops, the flame goes thin. Quick gut check. Are they still curious about your world? Do they ask follow-ups? Or do they park your feelings in later and never circle back? If you're doing all the emotional lifting, you're not in a conversation. You're in a monologue with pauses. That's sign 1. And when it settles in, sign 2 arrives on schedule. Behavioral withdrawal. This is when the inside shift becomes outside behavior. They start opting out of decisions, out of traditions, out of the little rituals that make a life. It sounds like this. You choose. Whatever you want. I'm easy. At first, that sounds flexible, like they're just being laid back. But what's actually happening is subtle. They're stepping back from we and sliding into me. They stop planning with you. They bail on your best friend's birthday. Again. They don't want to drive out for Thanksgiving this year, and if you go, they might stay back and catch up on work. If you have kids together, they become the fun parent or the absent parent, but not the partnering parent. Decisions magically land on your shoulders. Pay attention to the tiny home moments. They used to fix the wobbly chair. Now the chair wobbles for 3 weeks and they don't see it. You got the flu and they used to bring soup. Now you get a feel better text from the other room. They didn't lose their kindness. They lost their investment. A therapist once told me, when people stop tending to the little things, it's because they no longer believe they'll be there for the big things. That line lives in my head. Because investment looks like showing up when it's boring, not just when it's glamorous. If they're going to leave, They've started practicing. More nights working late, more solo gym time, more hobbies that just happen to exist entirely outside your overlap. That's not wellness. That's rehearsal. Now, if you're in this stage, you might feel yourself trying harder, suggesting game night, asking them to pick the movie, inviting them to your friend's cookout, and they become socially slippery. Everything is maybe. Everything is we'll see. And when they do show up, they float around like a polite guest. They're there, but they're not with you. And then we hit the final sign. Future exclusion. This is when your name disappears from their plans. You bring up a summer trip. Let's finally see the Grand Canyon. And they say, now's not the best time. You talk about moving to a bigger place. We've outgrown this apartment. And they say, let's not rush. You ask what they think about next year, and they throw a smoke bomb. We'll figure it out later. But here's what's actually happening. They're figuring it out without you. They start building a life plan that functions perfectly fine if you vanish tomorrow. They look at jobs in another city. They book a solo reset vacation. They invest in things under their own name only. They start sentences with, I might, instead of, we could. Their language shifts. If you listen closely, their verbs are single. Remember this. People who love you write you into their schedule and their dreams, even in pencil. People who have decided to leave quietly erase your name. It's not drama, it's logistics. Let's pause here for 2 clarifiers. Not every I need space is a breakup. Space requested clearly and with a plan can be healthy. But vagueness, delays, and a calendar that steadily forgets you, that's not space. That's an exit ramp. Second, you can't fix someone's decision with overperformance. You cannot outgive, outcalm, or outnice someone's choice to end what you didn't break alone. Your job is not to audition for the part of person worth staying for. Your job is to notice what is true. All right. So what happens now when you recognize the signs? Spotting the pattern isn't an invitation to panic or beg. It's an invitation to dignity. Start with yourself. Check your reality. Write down what you see, not how you hope it will be. Then speak simply. Hey, I feel you pulling away. Our conversations are shallow. You're checked out of decisions. You're not writing me into your plans. I want a relationship where we both show up. Are you in or are you out? If they say I'm in, then ask for specifics. Great. How does that show up this week? Because love is a verb, not a vibe. If they balk at accountability, they're not in. They're stalling. If they say, I don't know, that's a no in slow motion. People who want you find a way. People who don't find a sentence. And if they say, I'm out, you honor that. Yes, it hurts. But endings handled with honesty are still acts of care. Protect your dignity. Divide the practical stuff like grown-ups, leases, bills, pets. And don't drag out a long goodbye. The slowest cut bleeds the most.